So I absolutely think students today use technology to switch off. They use it to not only switch on for academics, but they're absolutely using it in their social lives through video games, Facebook, and just e-books now. They're using technology to just sit back and read a book. Very different from my generation, who would consider technology as a form of work. Technology meant we were in work mode, and to switch off was to put the technology down, where now our students have technology on them 24/7 and using it 24/7. Position as student life coordinator, I see hundreds of students throughout a week in all sorts of avenues, but in general we have very generic conversations, and a conversation that comes up quite frequently is technology and their use of it in their everyday lives. They are using it in the classroom. I have sat in my office with students who are on their iPad, and they're actually reading their textbook as we're having a conversation. Their ability to do both is fascinating. They're a very instant information generation, and their ability to retain this information is fantastic. A constant comment that I keep hearing repetitively from students is the disconnect between the students and their ability with technology and the faculty. And there may be a disconnect there in some of our faculty don't have that skill and aren't implementing technology in the classroom. And that may be due to fear of technology, and maybe the ability to develop those skills will bridge that gap a little bit for our students. Working with our students in the non-academic environment here on campus through recreational activities. And one thing I've noticed increasing throughout the years is the anxiety and anger that is coming through our students. The amount of anxiety attacks, fighting, anger, tears that I've seen this year is through the roof. And through conversations with these students, they're expressing this amount of pressure and expectation that they just can't keep up with. They are working harder than we've ever given them credit for, and I think they deserve the credit of being known as having a fantastic work ethic. I think one of the things with this generation that we're experiencing with our students is the concept of helicopter parents and their ability to interact with our students, where in the past we would consider these students adults and they would take on their own lives at this point. Unfortunately, we have parents now who still feel like their babies need to be coddled, and in response to that, we end up with this concept that our students are lesser than, or have less work ethic, or not as responsible. And I believe that that is the case for those students who have suffered from those kind of parents. But I think it is a great misconception to blanket statement that for all of our students, especially with our increase in multicultural, mature age, and very, very independent students in this year's student body. Things that I have learned over the last year is that students live in this virtual world through their technology, and we all know Facebook is the big thing, the Facebook lives of our students. And what we've had to do as a department to communicate with our students is use Facebook. And the whole concept of face-to-face communication has dissipated, and all of our communication through the mass student body has been through Facebook. And there's this delusion I feel that's happening where they believe that their virtual reality is their reality, and the imbalance that is happening when they realize that there is that disconnect, and how they cope is the question. I think one thing with this generation is that we need to provide them with healthy options, such as student life, recreation, where they're building genuine, real relationships, where they are developing support networks outside of their parents, where they have people to help guide them in their decision making and pull them back when required. I think the delusion that this generation may have through their 500, 600 friends on Facebook is that they're super popular and there's all these people there for them, but then when crisis happens, the reality that there is no one there and they're on their own, and that may help lead them in the wrong direction. If these students have strong support networks in their fellow peers, in the staff and faculty here at Red Deer College, then we can guide them to make better decisions and therefore healthier, stronger adults. I think one thing that's very important for the staff and faculty here at Red Deer College is to anticipate the generations coming, the very virtual orientated generation that we have coming. They are living through the internet, studying through the internet, socializing through the internet, bullying through the internet, dating through the internet. And what I think the consequences of this is going to be is their lack of social skills, their inability to have genuine human-to-human interaction. And as Red Deer College staff, I need to educate myself and be prepared for this generation coming. I think that's very crucial in the post-secondary institution realm is that we accept and embrace that change is inevitable. We know that the coming generations are technology-based. We know that they're very virtual-orientated. So what can we do as an institution, and what can post-secondary institutions do to make sure we're meeting the needs of our coming learners? And I think it's important, and we have a fantastic leader here who's very innovative. And what that does is it forces change, where that old style of lecturing and that old style of instructor won't fit the model anymore. And it allows not only for our students' needs to be met, but it improves ongoing learning for our faculty, develops them new skills, keeps them ongoing learners, and together it's a beautiful thing. I think one thing that's really important, and as a member of the Student Services Division here at Red Deer College, is the ability to collaborate, to come together and give a holistic model of services. One that we're working together to ensure that our students are having the best experience both inside and outside the classroom. So an example of that at Red Deer College would be for student life, the development of a student life committee was formed. All the key players that had anything to do with student life come together once a month and we discuss where are we going, what's important, what are the needs, and how are we going to do this together. And through this we've developed systems that has allowed students a one-stop shop. This is where you can go and find out everything you need to know about student life. And I do truly believe, why can't we do that for services in general?